we're super excited that we're now celebrating 10 years of TwitchCon. How do you feel about it?
It's really exciting. TwitchCon is always special because anyone who comes here says, it's really like Twitch in the real world, and you get a real visceral feeling for the passion, the love, the community, and all that. So I always love coming.
I know it. Like this moment, like right here, this type of events are really amazing. And we've been seeing like a big change for the first 10 years. What do you think is going to come on the next 10?
The interesting thing, people always want to hear these stories about how different it is. But for me, the thing is how similar it is. Because the reality is the essence of TwitchCon is the same now as it was 10 years ago, because it really comes down to letting the creators have a space to express themselves and create. So there'll be different things happening, of course. And part of this was, I think we used to always think, we need to keep getting bigger. And I'm like, we feel really good where it's at. It's like at a good level. People love coming here. So I feel like we just need to keep finding what's the right meme in the community, and the team does a great job doing that so that every year it seems fresh and new.
Yeah, actually for like keeping it fresh and everything, I know that Twitch and obviously TwitchCon, it started everything like for games. But right now we're seeing the IRL taking over a little bit. We're seeing also a little bit more of the artists that are coming here, the music. How do you feel now that we have like all these different like creators right there, that it's not only like, we're just going to stick on one area?
Well, the interesting thing is Twitch, the creators in Twitch always wanted to do different things. Yeah. In fact, we were the ones that like tempered them down, right? And so I find it exciting mostly because it's just an expression of all the different things people love to do. Because, whenever someone comes and says, I'm thinking of streaming, what do you think I should do? I said, well, find something you'd love to do. Then it's even better if you're with other people when you're doing it. I was just mentioning, I was at QT Cinderella has this deco, which is a kind of a frame decoration crafting thing, and it was a bunch of Unity Guild members, and we were talking about how, this is a fun thing to stream, right? Because, anything you can think of can be a fun thing to stream.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and as you say, the community is like a really important thing. And right now we have the meta that it's going to be also available for streamers. Can you tell me a little bit about like how that idea popped up with you guys and be like, you know what, we're going to even give you a little bit more now, and we're going to go with meta right there.
Yeah. Well, the interesting thing is, I saw them come out, with the glasses, and the first thought I said was, because, I do IRL streaming, I was like, well, this is great for IRL streaming, but it only worked with the meta apps, right? Yeah. So I actually reached out to someone who I had met many years ago, and I think I was still at Google, that was an executive at Meta in that org, and I reached out and I say, look, this is a big opportunity for y'all. And luckily they reached out to someone else, eventually came back, and they like understood, oh wow, this is like, we should open up our API, have third-party developers. Yeah. And I know I've talked to a lot of streamers that, are like, wow, this is going to really, be really nice for certain use cases with IRL streaming.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be like a really big change. So I think a lot of streamers are right now really excited. I'm included. We're really excited about this one. So for just finishing writing here, and thank you so much for being here with us. But anything that you get to say to the small streamers right now, because I know a lot of them, they really want to, like, they look up to you also, and they look up for a lot of streamers, and they really want to go and be a little bit bigger. And we know that sometimes you're giving us more like tools right there for getting bigger. What can you tell them besides being patient? Because a lot of them, we know they're not that much patient.
Well, interestingly, I would say a lot of them, I think a lot of them, they want to grow, but they also know that they love what they do, what they're doing, right? And they're doing it because they still enjoy it. And that's what I always say. First of all, if you try to do something that you're not enjoying to grow, and then you don't grow, then you're pretty unhappy. Yeah. Right? And there's no guarantees in terms of how to do it. So what I always say to smaller streamers, and it's, I stream and I'm a smaller streamer, schedule is always important. Yeah. Okay. And I always say collaborate, collaborate, collaborate. And what I suggest to people is the best way to find people to collaborate is to be part of other people's communities. And don't just go watch the big streamers. I always use, I say a factor of 10. Find other streamers that are about your size or within a factor of 10 of where you are. And be a member of their communities, right? And then suggest things you can do together. Get them to raid you. So I always think that if you look at, almost all the streamers that eventually start doing well, they're all kind of, it may not be a formal group, but if it's often an informal group. Yeah. Kai Sanat is an AMP, so he has people that helps him create good content, right? And so meet other people that love streaming. And then number 2, short form content. Twitch is optimized so that people pull up a chair and stay for a while on your stream, and that's why we build a community experience. We're doing a lot of work to try and make it easier for small streamers to quickly come up with what I always say: try to find 5 clips at the end of every stream. Yeah. We're working so that you can do it within 5 minutes. Post them to your stories, post them third-party social media, and you just have to get in that habit.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. And I think we both need a coffee, so let's go and grab a coffee and still enjoying the last day of Comic-Con.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
TwitchCon.
TwitchCon.
Oh my God.
I don't have a coffee. I told you.
She needs
I don't
some
have
coffee.
a coffee right now. I'm telling you. That's why I need a coffee.
I hope you have a great day.
Same. And I know that I just watched yesterday also Marvel Rivals, everything right there. So people, if you haven't come to this event, wait for next year. Believe me, you're not going to regret it. And if you're a small content creator, also on Twitch, believe me, it's going to be amazing for you being here, because the communities that just roll here together, they're amazing. So that's one of the things that we all love right here. So there's different.
And one thing I'll say, so thank you to all the streamers. I do think there's a ton of passion in terms of the Latin American streamers. Yeah. It's a critical component, and we really appreciate the passion and the love that you have. And I'm looking forward to getting down there again. I try to get down there as much as possible. I love meeting streamers from across Latin America.
Perfect. Well, we're going to wait for you right there. We're going to have some chilaquiles. We're going to have some mole for you.
Now you're tempting me.
Yeah, that's a good thing that you need to go right there. So the food, remember. Not only tacos. You need to go, and we're going to have some garnachas right there.
Yes. Yes.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. And thank you, everybody. We're going to see you. Nos vemos, chicos. Yo ya la regué un poquito por aquí, pero no hay problema. Ya nos vamos a ir por un cafecito. Así que nos vemos.